they can transmit that, whether it's through technology or telepathy. But I'm feeling like it's more demonic telepathy because it's very instantaneous. It's seamless and it's organic. So whatever they're transmitting to your body, whether it's like you fall in love with someone, or you have sexual arousal, or you feel really hungry, or you have a craving towards a certain food, or you want to smoke, you want to drink, you want to go out and party, you want to listen to music, you want to go and entertain yourself with some entertainment, whatever it is, they can transmit those things directly into your mind. So whatever you are feeling, every human emotion that you can feel, they can transmit those things and they can manipulate those things in your body. So that is the non-conceptual direct experience-based system that I am a part of, and I'm giving disclosure for that. And they deal with me in that way, in terms of the omnipresent body, mind, and space as well, omnipresent in space, because they can will any human around you, they can will your space and they can will the elements. So I'm coming from non-conceptual direct experience. So that's like Jhana Paramita is basically my space. And Jhana Paramita almost comes first for me. And I have to go into the Pragya Paramita and be like, what is going on here? And then I have to go in and listen to people's disclosure and learn the scriptures and try to understand what I'm going through. So for me, it's like direct knowing, the non-conceptual comes first almost. And I go in and I have to investigate and learn what's happening. So for me, it's a little bit flipped. It's like upside down. The Jhana Paramita is first and the Pragya Paramita is like second. But at the same time, with anything in Buddhism, everything is like side by side. Everything is simultaneous. For example, the three vehicles, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, we do all three vehicles. For example, even though we are in a Vajrayana vehicle, we do all three vehicles. Similarly, in Buddhism, it's like that. So Pragya and Jhana will come in hand, but for me it seems like the Jhana is first and Pragya is the second. But it could be either way. It could be both for you. It could be this first, that second, that first, that second. But eventually your job is to understand everything through the Jhana lens and not just stay in the Pragya Paramita space, but to keep going and get to the Jhana space, get to the direct knowing, so that it is not just conceptual, it becomes non-conceptual. Because over here in this space, it can still be hacked because it's still conceptual. So it can still be hacked to a certain level. If you're not clearly manifest, if you're not believing, if you're not seeing, if you're not hearing what we are saying, and you might believe 90%, you might not believe 10%, that is still affecting you. So the Pragya Paramita, it still can still be hacked and still be manipulated by the demons to telepathy to make you believe in other things. Because I know many people that are going through their awakening. Some things they believe and some things they just cannot wrap their head around. So you have to basically master the Pragya Paramita, and only through that you can go into the jhana, and everything is directly seen right in front of you. And there are evidence everywhere. There is evidence of all the things, all the testimony that we are giving. We are not just saying, oh, the elites are reptilian. That's a legit knowledge. The elites are reptilian, and that's a legitimate knowledge. But that's your Pragya Paramita knowledge. But if you ask them for evidence, they cannot give him. So you have to come to the disclosure community, and we are giving you evidence. We are saying, this is what's happening. Look at their tongue, look at their eyes, look at their hands, look at their feet. Look at how they're glitching through the hologram. So we are giving you that jhana knowledge, that direct, non-conceptual, experience-based knowledge. We are giving you that through the jhana. Both of these exist in this world. Anything you want to know in terms of disclosure, both of these systems, the Pragya Paramita, which is knowing what this world is about. The world is a channel ground. How is it a channel ground? Because actually, you have to know the scriptures of the demons, and you will know how the demons are operating in this world. So you have to go into the spiritual scriptures and learn about the demonic system. So both these learning systems are actually present in this world. So you just have to go into the Pragya Paramita space, learn about the world, go into the Jhana Paramita space and learn about the world. So disclosure is coming from both wisdom and knowledge. Disclosure is coming from direct knowing through direct experience. The inside whistleblowers, they are like the direct knowledge disclosure. They're coming from experience. And there are many Pragya Paramita people that are still that understand what we are speaking of, and they can give further testimony of that. So this is the space that we are in during the end times Great Tribulation, and this is like the knowledge basis. So Buddhism is like the blueprint. It gives you a direct knowledge. So Buddhism is like the blueprint. It will tell you what different systems are and how to properly attain your cleansing and purification and to achieve Buddhahood. So after Jhana Paramita, you achieve Buddhahood. So you have to go through the 10 bhumis. You have to go through your 10 bhumis. So these are the ground. The bhumi is directly translates to ground. So you have to go through the 10 grounds. It's a step-by-step process. You have given all your teachings, and then the knowledge is direct knowledge, based on direct knowledge. And you have mastered the Jhana Paramita, and you have mastered the direct knowing, direct knowledge through experience. You have mastered that. And then you can rain the cloud of Dharma. You can give all your teachings. So without all this, you cannot attain Buddhahood. So you have to keep going and get to your knowledge Paramita, get to the cloud of Dharma, and then you can properly exit the matrix. And that's what it is. So this is the exact process, step-by-step process to achieve your Buddhahood, to achieve your rapture, to achieve your complete purification so that you can be in the presence of Christ and Father. So this is the great space that we are in during the end times. And this is the process, the learning process that you will be going through. And how do you achieve your Buddhahood? How do you rapture and go to heaven? How do you achieve your total complete purification? How do you achieve your Arahat? This is the process. And there's no other process. This is the process. The system is wisdom. The system is knowledge. There's no other system. There's no magical Buddhahood. You have to go through the process. You have to do the 10 bhumis. You have to do the 10 paramitas. You have to do the pragya paramita, which is the wisdom paramita. You have to do the jhana paramita, which is the knowledge paramita. And only through this system, you will achieve a proper purification, because we live in a world of spiritual fantasy, of meditation and yoga and breathing. We live in that very spiritual fantasy-based world, but that's not what spirituality is. Spirituality is learning. You have to learn the system. It's a proper system, like you have the system of your school, that if you do not learn your science properly, you cannot become a doctor. It's the same thing. If you do not learn spirituality properly, you cannot go to heaven. You'll be stuck in samsara, because all your science and technology knowledge is samsara based. So you'll be stuck in samsara with that knowledge. All your schooling is a samsara based knowledge, and you'll be stuck in samsara. So you need the nirvana knowledge. You need the spiritual knowledge to actually rapture and go to heaven, to attain Buddhahood, or to exit samsara. How do you exit samsara? How do you come out of this world? Through the learning of the heavenly system, through the spiritual system. And that's how you exit it. Without that, you are stuck in the samsara. And the main thing to learn about how to exit the matrix is to realize sunyata, emptiness. So without balancing your account to zero, sunyata means zero. Without balancing your account to zero, you cannot exit the matrix. So you can see the example of what Yeshua, Son of God, Jesus Christ, what he did. So that will be the process for humanity as well. I'm not saying that you're going to go through crucifixion, but there are accounts of beheading given in the book of Revelation, but they are just different things for different people that will go through the samsara experience to finally attain their nirvana. But I'm saying that it will not be easy. It will be tough. It will be difficult. It will be very challenging. It will be intense. And you just have to learn a lot. And then if you do not learn, demon will trick you. And demon will blame you for the spiritual inflictions they're giving you. Demon will blame you. So unless you know the knowledge, unless you know the system, you cannot exit samsara. You cannot balance your account to zero. If you haven't solved all the problems, you haven't solved all of it. because you have to understand, even a small, like for example, a small piece of leaven spreads through the whole bread. You haven't completed the total knowledge, and even if you have a small black drop inside you, or a small clash, or a small negative emotion, or a small poison inside you, that will contaminate everything. It will grow like leaven. In the Hebrew scriptures, they give example of a leaven or a yeast that you put in the bread, and the yeast spreads to the whole bread and it puffs off. So if you do not know the complete knowledge, then it's like that yeast, that tiny yeast can puff up a whole bread, or a small drop of poison can contaminate the whole pool of water, for example. So that's why the zero is important. The sunyata is important. You have to balance your count to zero. You need total purification with no leaven inside you, no yeast inside you, not even a single drop of poison inside you, not a single drop of clash inside you. And then you can go to the Jhana Paramita and quickly start dissolving everything. Quickly start. Once you know what is good inside you, once you know all the clash that's sitting inside you, all the impurities, all the poisons, all the negative emotions that's sitting inside you, you are able to clearly distinguish those two things, then you can dissolve them into sunyata and attain your freedom. So even the smallest thing that you don't know can have power over you. So that's why the zero sunyata is important. You have to balance your count to zero, like Christ did. Christ did not leave a single thing behind. He attained complete body, mind, resurrection, and he went to heaven. So Christ was born in Egypt, which is this world of slavery, samsara, the charnel ground. Christ was born here, and he exited samsara. He went from Egypt to the promised land, heaven. He exited, he went out of samsara because he attained his eternal body. He did not have a single clash, a single poison inside of him. He completely purified himself through his resurrection. So humanity will have to go through the same thing. We'll have to do that level of work to be completely purified. Only then you can go to heaven. So it's a whole process. So it's a whole systematic process of knowing dark and light, knowing good and evil, knowing negative, positive, and then dissolving appropriately, solving and dissolving everything back into sunyata. So if you cannot dissolve it, if you have not solved 2 plus 2 is 5, that's incorrect. 2 plus 2 is 4, that's dissolved. 2 plus 2 is 5, it's like you cannot dissolve that into sunyata because it's incorrect. You have to first realize that 2 plus 2 is 4, and that automatically dissolves into sunyata. You don't even have to try. Once you get it, it dissolves. Once you say 2 plus 2 equals 4, done, you're correct. You don't even have to try. It just automatically dissolves. But if you are 2 plus 2 is 6, 2 plus 2 is 5, then it doesn't dissolve because it's incorrect. So it's just sitting there because it's incorrect. So you have to correct it. So that's why I put that as a math, because the Jhana Paramita is precise. Because it knows what it knows, it sees things clearly, it sees the naked truth, it sees the true nature of reality. And it becomes almost miraculous when you start going into the channel ground, which is the mainstream online world. You go in and start decoding the world. It almost becomes miraculous what you will find out there, and how you can start dissolving all the programming that we have been taught about the elites and all the greats and everything. All of those will start dissolving once you know the true nature of those people, or of those beings, of those people that are living on this earth, that are not complete human beings, that are hybridized life forms. Very, very complex technological based cloning or other forms of hybridized life form that is co-inhabiting on this earth. So all of those is directly known, and it is not just Pragya Paramita, but it is directly known. You can go in and figure that out for yourself, or you can take our disclosure and train yourself, and you can go out and apply those same systems to find more evidence for yourself, and you can share that with the world. Things that we haven't done, or things that we haven't seen. You might be able to see different things by using our method and process. Sunyata is the number one thing in all this. All of this actually takes you to sunyata. The Pragya Paramita, Jhana Paramita, all that takes you to sunyata. All that takes you to balancing your account to zero. All that takes you to solving. All that, and once you solve, it naturally dissolves. You don't even have to do the dissolving. You solve it, it dissolves. 2 plus 2 is 4, done. So this is the appropriate system, and you have to be a part of the system and follow the system and know the system so that you can appropriately use wisdom and method so that your method is not wasted. So all the work that you have done, all the spiritual meditation and breathing and reading and all the generosity and all the different things that you have done, all your method does not go to waste because you are not doing the Paramita and Jhana Paramita properly. So once you understand the Pragya Paramita, Jhana Paramita, you do the 10 bhumis, the 10 paramitas, then your method is not wasted. Otherwise, like Christ said, all the work that you have done previously will go to waste if you do not believe in the end times. So you have to believe in the end times so that all your past work, doesn't matter what you are, you could be the highest level lama, you could be the highest level monk, it doesn't matter. All your work will go to waste if you do not believe in the end times. So you have to go in and learn about samsara, not believe in science, not believe in technology, not believe in the ruling elite. You have to know about samsara. And then you will solve this reality. And when you solve it, it dissolves, you attain your sunyata, you go to heaven. So it should be easier for the spiritual people, the monks and the hardcore spiritual people, because they have a lot of knowledge of nirvana. But they do not know anything about samsara. They have no knowledge about samsara. They're just like, oh, suffering beings, suffering beings. But we are giving you testimony of where that suffering is coming from, who is causing that suffering, what they are doing, where COVID-19 is coming from, where is all this pedophilia, rape, and trafficking coming from. We are giving testimony of the samsara. So the spiritual people that know a lot of spiritual knowledge, they have no knowledge of the samsara. They have no knowledge of the channel ground. So they have to go in and learn about samsara. So just to nirvana is not enough. The Pragya Paramita will make you learn from all directions and all angle. You need the false view and the correct view properly. You have to understand. It says here, all the phenomenon of the samsara and nirvana are fully evident. So you need that. It has to be fully evident. You can't just be like suffering beings. What is the evidence of suffering beings? Where is it coming from? Who is doing them? How is it taking place? How did the COVID-19 happen? What's going on there? How did it just appear? It doesn't just appear. It's a demonic infestation. So it has to be fully evident. It can't just be conceptual, but it has to be through direct experience. You have to know it. So once the spiritual people, because they know the spiritual people know about all the spiritual things, or they know about all the nirvana things, but once they learn the samsara, they will go to heaven very fast because they can quickly dissolve it because they already have the spiritual. I did not have the samsara, I did not have the nirvana. I had to go in and do both simultaneously. I had to do the channel ground samsara and learn the scriptures on the side. I had to do both. And most of humanity are in my position. And so they will have to do both samsara and nirvana. So they have to keep learning. But the spiritual people that know the nirvana, they actually have to learn the samsara. And a lot of the Satanists that know the samsara, that know everything about the world, or even the disclosure people, they know everything about the samsara, or most things about the samsara channel ground. They have to go in and now learn this type of complex knowledge. Learn Buddhism, learn Hebrewism, knowledge of the Son of God and Father, and not the Christian version, but the real one. So all the people that we are in the samsara need proper knowledge of the nirvana, need proper knowledge of spirituality. So we have to balance both. It has to be samsara and nirvana have to be fully evident. You have to be clearly manifest. Your samsaric form and your nirvanic form has to clearly manifest. Otherwise, you can't dissolve it. This is the appropriate process in how you can achieve your Buddhahood through the 10 bhumis and the 10 paramitas. And this is the way of your purification and how you can rapture and go to heaven, how you can ascend and go to heaven like Yeshua, Son of God.